This for Mr. Mussell. Mr. Mussell, I'm referring to the report issued by CAPI in March of this year, which focuses on agri-food and trade. And one of the key takeaways in your study, and I'll read it out to you, it says Canada's agri-food policy priorities appear to be a combination of largely the status quo and a shift to a strong emphasis on climate change and labor in agri-food. So my question is that balance between, public policy standpoint. Do you agree with that? Do you think the emphasis should be more or less in one particular area? Because unfortunately, your recommendations focus more on trade rather than climate change or balancing other elements of food policy. Though I must admit, your recommendations on trade are very insightful, and I hope somebody acts on them.
Thanks for the question. The dilemma we have here is we have to deal with the context that is in front of us, and without making things overly dramatic, we are in some stage of I don't think we know what yet, a global food crisis, and as well as a global energy crisis, and the two intersect very very closely together. So if where you're at, if your point of departure in agricultural policy is, as the report that you referenced mentioned, to talk about climate change and labor and sort of some of last year's or previous decades problems, without addressing what I see today as frankly a problem of scarcity, and the worry that countries are quite prepared to use trade policy and other kinds of geopolitical actions to secure a food supply for their own populations, as they're concerned about scarcity, then that needs to be another dimension that's included within our ag policy. I'm gonna keep it short in the interest of time, but our a lot of our ag policy that we have today really stems from the period following the Second World War, in which the great concern of ag policy was that productivity in agriculture would move faster than demand would, and you'd have low farm prices, low farm incomes, and you wouldn't get efficiency and investment, and you'd have poor people that lived in the country. That situation is changing in real time, and it's not just food inflation; it's energy inflation. And it's, well, we're simply going to have starving people in the world, sadly, that attest to that.